welcome to another episode of Political Oreo. I am one of your three hosts, Sensuous Caramel. Also in the studio tonight we have
Slick Willie,
T and Tony,
and we're here once again to bring you our Political Oreo.
I don't want to say we started on a bad foot, but we didn't hit the issues as hard as we wanted to. We didn't get into serious issues. We really wanted to start doing that.
We had some technical difficulties the other day. Hopefully we've tried to remedy such issues.
Okay, well, before we start all of this, last episode I said y'all said something.
Yes.
Wait, no. If y'all want to know what they said, y'all gotta watch the first one.
Yeah.
But they didn't say it, and I'm apologizing for it right now.
Yes, we reviewed.
Thank you.
Yes, we reviewed the footage, and it was not said. It was just misrepresented.
I apologize.
Tony.
Okay.
Okay. We forgive you somewhat. Okay. Our first topic of discussion is tonight. Slick Willow, this is one that you wanted, the two-party.
The two-party system.
Yeah.
We actually have more than two parties, but the issue is that
It's mainly those two.
yeah, if you're going to become a president of the United States, you better be Republican or Democrat.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
if you could go through the Congress and Senate and look at the party lines, you'll find very few independents. You know, things like that. So, what I'm suggesting is we really need to get away from this two-party system because pretty much now we're getting very similar people just for some reason in two different parties. We're not getting a lot of options, and we're definitely not getting people who really.
Well, I've always voted Democrat, but Democrat don't mean what it used to. It's just, Democrats supposed to speak for the poor people. The Republicans are usually for the government, but it's kind of, everyone's kind of like out for themselves right now.
Well, even like I was reading earlier that Obama was talking about Reagan and he was making cuts for big corporations, and like that's for the rich people. But if you don't give tax cuts to large corporations, the issue with that is they'll go somewhere else, and then we won't have jobs. So I mean, it's one of those where it's catch-22,
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could pick another party. What would we pick? I mean, what would our party represent?
The people.
Our real people. The People's Party. I mean, so we'd have Democrat, Republicans, and I don't know.
Some name that we're going to make up eventually.
I mean, like I said, there's other parties out there. They're just not.
They're not as big as.
They don't have the money.
Those two.
The money is in Democrats and Republicans. They got these. They just got money. Money talks, and we don't have it, and they do. And
we do a lot of blocking.
so they're the people speaking for us.
Yeah. I mean, we vote them in office because we hear some of their good views, but once they get in office, they don't even do a third of what they say they were going to do when they get in there.
Well, but you got to think they're also tied to there's checks and balances, and you're tied to that. I mean, you can't just come and say, well, I'm going to do this and then go do it. I mean, there's other people.
Yeah.
To keep that from happening, because then that's just too much control from one person, and
very true.
The more power a person gets, the more they want.
It's a help and a hinder at the same time.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Okay, that's a good topic for our listeners out there. What kind of party what other party do you think we should have besides Democrats and Republicans? And what do you think they should represent for the people? Just hit that up on our Facebook page or send it to our email, political_Oreo@yahoo.com, and tell us what you think. What you think our next party should be to speak for us.
I know there's actually a man running for president right now, and he's part of I think it's called the Constitutional Party.
Yeah.
Go straight everything back to the Constitution.
Yeah. So, but he doesn't have the money, and actually he spoke to he's not even trying to raise that kind of money. He wants to be put in office for his beliefs and his,
what
he plans on doing for us, which I don't know what that is.
I know for him.
But they're very grassroots. They want to go back to the Constitution, you know, and
I believe in constant in pursuit of happiness. I mean, because I think that, you know, Will Smith's character kind of coined it.
Yeah, he did pretty good.
Hope is not something that we get. We have to, you know, our happiness has to be pursued. We have to fight for it. You know, nothing's free.
Well, that's the thing that you know, like socialist, you know, suggestions that we need the net, you know. But if you're like most Americans, you believe in the, you know, the inalienable rights, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
Nothing's guaranteed other than that. But as long as you work as hard as you can go as far as life as you are intelligently capable of. You know, so.
But as we can see now with the way things are going, no matter how intelligent you are, it's not really meaning a whole lot. You know, people with bachelor's degrees can't get jobs. So even that pursuit of happiness is slowly dying. You know, telling everybody, go back to school, you know, get more papers, get better jobs.
More education, better job you're going to get.
And it's not even true anymore. So
Well, I mean, that's, you know, another topic we went into is to create jobs. We need to find creative jobs. More than, you know, just spend money on ridiculous things that we don't be spending money on. We don't be spending, because our technology for wind and solar are not there, and they're spending all these monies for companies to create, you know, jobs. Doing that, we're not there. We're not ready for it. We need to create jobs and actually something that is being productive to this society.
Right. Well, that's the biggest reason why, like, Toyota Motors Manufacturing Kentucky here, because that's exactly what they do. I give them a lot of credit for that. You know, they recycle everything. They create the recycling facility on site. They create a lot of jobs for people. They recycle all their cars, all the food that goes to compost for their gardens. They help the environment. I mean, they actually do a lot for, you know, our area here. And it would be great if a lot of other companies did that. Because we need to preserve what environment we've got left. We're always talking about the ozone layers going because of all the emission fumes. Well, let's not just talk about it and not do nothing about it. Oh yeah, that's happening. Okay, let's keep doing what we're doing to, you know, destroy our own selves.
And I've really thought about it. We have an abundance of natural gas. It is cleaner. It's very clean. It's cleaner than oil. You know, it's not quite solar or wind, but we have the technology to do this.
Yes.
We don't have the technology for wind and solar yet to make it for large portions of our society to get it.
We use it small because Toyota uses a lot of solar panels on their signs.
I mean, we have the technology to use, but it's not for mass production of it.
Yeah.
We're
not
not there.
for everything that we need it for. It would take a lot of sun.
And natural gas, we have it.
Yes.
We can use it right now. We just don't.
It would help with our. I mean, look how high gas is $3.70 something a gallon for fossil fuels. Coal. I mean, there's coal miners still. You know, I'm a coal miner's daughter. I know how it works. My grandmother used to burn kerosene, which is coal oil. That stuff is going to eventually run out. We're going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place.
So we have a more abundance of natural gas, even in eastern Kentucky,
Yeah.
where it is known for coal. It has more natural gas right now than coal.
Yeah, it does.
And we're not tapping into this. If we tap into our resources just for natural gas, it's less on the environment. It's less invasive than coal, oil.
Yeah, it is. It's safer on our air that we're breathing.
And if we use it, it'll be cheap. If we tap into our actual resources, it'll be cheap. And none of that will be energy independent.
Yeah, for those of you out there who are like, well, you know, they've created electrical cars. Yeah, electrical cars are good. It runs on batteries, but think about it. You got to pay all that money to have the electrical port, you know, installed at your house to plug your car in. That's going to send your electric bill sky high.
And it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made the water vehicle, you know, the ones that run off, you know, certain kinds of water. You know, you can't they're right. You can't just use your water, your tap water. You know, they'll make something in it specialized that you can only use that. You got to pay more money. You know, it's hard.
That's why we really know what natural gas is. We can use it for fuel in our cars. We can use it for electricity. We can use it to heat our houses. That's why they have the, everything. I mean, we're really not using a very clean source that we have readily available. And if we used it, this country would save money. And plus, we wouldn't be sending money to countries that dislike us. I mean, most of our oil, where it comes from the Middle East, where we're right now currently fighting wars.
Yeah, they're not too friendly towards us.
I mean,
they said there's plenty of oil here. They said Alaska has a lot of untapped oil sources. I mean, how much does Bush have? I mean, he's this big gas baron, he's got all this oil. How much is he sitting on that we could actually be using instead of fighting for this foreign oil? They're just sitting on it getting rich. It's ridiculous.
Well, the oil companies are making $1 billion profits right now. We're paying $3.85 a gallon. But either way, we have, even oil, we do have the resources to become
extremely independent.
Very close to independent. But if we just used natural gas, we kill two birds with one stone, right?
Yeah.
You get the you get the cleaner emissions, and you also get the independence.
That would sever a lot of usage on foreign oil and keep all these. They say we're fighting over oil, but if that was the case, that should cut all the war out. We wouldn't have to bother them. Keep it here.
We got so much bureaucratic red tape to get through. I mean, for some reason, people want to send money over there. People want to blow money. Some people love war. I guess I don't know what it is, but
I don't. Yeah, they said the military spending is ridiculous. I mean, they always said that the best way to get the most money for the government is claim war, taxes go up. And right now we can't afford it. Our country is completely strained. So I did some research online, and it's pretty nasty. Our national debt is climbing. I just checked it probably 20 minutes ago, and I know it's climbed a little bit since then, but it's currently at $15,964,456,000. And it's climbing. $15 trillion. We don't have that much money here in the United States.
We'll put it this way: Bush spent more money than any other president in the history of the United States. He spent $5 trillion in 8 years.
And doing what with it?
Well, and Obama has spent the same amount of money in 4 years.
In just four.
In just four. So he no longer has that title. Obama took him over. Well, not even 4 years. It's been 3.5.
Yeah.
Has he done more than him? Has he spent more already? Or is it like
he has spent more? I mean, he literally has got us at 15 trillion when it was at 10 trillion when it started.
It's got worse.
And at the end of the Clinton administration, it was 5 trillion.
That's why we like Clinton better as a president, because he kind of kept everything in check. We still didn't have a perfect environment, but we weren't in the horrid situation we're in right now.
He actually balanced a budget every 2 years like you're supposed to.
Yeah. And our budget right now is just not
we don't have a budget.
No.
They have not officially put a budget in since Obama's been president.
It's like the way it seems to be right now. It's like our president is a 50-year-old widowed woman sitting at home, and the world is its own personal QVC, and they're spending the national debt as much as they can, just trying to get whatever the hell they can.
I mean, it's
just ridiculous.
It is.
Well, with that being said, what was that article you were reading about the drones? They're spending the government's spending $63 billion of budget to digitize the airspace for commercial planes.
Yes. They want to pretty much go to drone planes in the commercial sector.
They want unmanned planes.
Unmanned planes. So pretty much you're going to lose jobs. They're going to spend $63 billion to just digitize the airspace. That's it.
When we are in debt and we owe everyone else money.
Yes.
Yeah, for everyone who didn't hear that clear, that's $63 billion just to digitize airspace. Nothing else. No creating a job anywhere, no building anything, just airspace.
In short term it will, or I may be long term, because they're going to have to build these planes.
Yeah, but it's not going to create jobs very long. That's only for people who have the know-how to build planes. That's not really creating much, and then those jobs are going to be over. Okay, well, it's kind of hand in hand with this. How about we need to help our economy as it is. So a lot of our money, you said, like, is going overseas to foreign countries,
Yeah,
and we're in debt.
And they don't like us.
well, definitely. Anytime you buy oil, for the large portion of it is coming from the Middle East. Anytime you go to Walmart per se,
It's everything's made in China.
what ain't made in China? Taiwan.
Taiwan, yeah. Your towels, if you look at the tag on your towels, it says made in China. Your plates, most clothes, shoes are all made in a foreign country. You know, every so often you'll see something that says made in Mexico, but that's not very often. A good 70-80% of what you see is made in China. Why are we sitting here in debt to this country and we're still buying stuff from them?
And sending them stuff.
And sending them stuff. We're exporting so much of our goods and importing mass tons of their products. And we know for the most part, most stuff made in China don't last very long. That's why a lot of people have got to where they buy only made in the U.S. things because it lasts longer, it has durability.
Well, I would suggest I would start looking for USA tags. That way we can create more jobs. I mean, they always talk about we're losing manufacturing jobs, but we're not purchasing anything manufactured in America.
I mean, it may be drastic, but if we cut our imports from China and just cut that off, I mean, look at all the factories we could have here to create jobs. Clothing factories, shoe factories, China, towel, look, all that stuff that's made over there. There should be so many jobs here, we would know what to do with it.
But then again,
if all the factories is like here, wouldn't there be like more pollution in this area?
It depends.
That's quite possible, yes.
Yeah.
But more pollution, or
well, we're already in poverty, so we know what we know what the first outcome is. It's no jobs here.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to pick the lesser of the two evils.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's either more jobs.
No job and starve to death, or pollute the earth and die. I don't know. I mean, it's what's your choice? It's
a pretty rock and a hard place.
Yeah. So.
Well, with that being said, another biggest problem with our economy is that most people we see it, we hate to talk about it because we don't want to offend anybody, but that's what we're about here, Political Oreo. We will offend you if we have to. We have way too many illegal immigrants in this country. I know we know a few, we're friends with a few, whatever. It's nothing against them personally, but it is a big hindrance to our economy.
What's the piece you read the other day that if you come into Russia you get shot?
If you oh god, it's on.
You posted on the wall.
It's posted on our Facebook page if you want to go see it. It's to the extent of you cross like the Iranian border illegally, you get shot. Apparently, there was a couple U.S. soldiers that crossed some border over in the Middle East, and they were
in jail.
Yeah, they got thrown in jail for like 8 years. But if you cross the United States border illegally, you get free medical care, food stamps, a job, a driver's license, tax-free business for 7 years, and welfare. It's ridiculous.
And your children's education.
Yeah, you get children's education. Because everywhere you turn, you see signs for welfare or any other business. It's in English and in Spanish. I wasn't aware that the United States' second language was Spanish.
Well, and they also are advertising in Mexico for these people. If you come to this country, you have these things. We have these things to offer you. That is actually being advertised.
See, that's ridiculous.
And in Latin speaking commercials in southern Texas and in Mexico.
Yeah, I love watching Telemundo sometimes, and I've seen some very crazy business going on over there. And we can't, we know we want to help everyone. We want to be, the bigger person, but that's really putting a lot of strain on us. Because, they'll take the jobs that we don't want. And that's how they're taking that money and shipping it back to Mexico to their families. We need to keep our money here. A lot of our personal factories are sitting there on the border of Mexico, right there, and Colombia has a couple factories. Everything on the border of the U.S. all down there has factories that ship stuff. What was it? Banana Republic, Abercrombie and Fitch, Aeropostale. Their trucks come here from Mexico, and they said they had to flag some of them trucks because the cartels, they will actually had drugs from Colombia on those trucks. But since they're such high name brands here in America, those trucks don't get checked. Those drugs get shipped here. It's just one evil for another.
Well, and the cartels are our issue anyway. The cartels exist because there's such a drug problem in America to begin with.
Yeah.
Everything exists because of money. So
and the bad part about it is right now we're in such financial strain that people are resorting to selling drugs just to make money. I mean, it's just sad. You've got, for the most part, under normal circumstances, you probably have a father out there, a husband, got 2 kids. He probably had a normal job. Got laid off and had to resort to the one thing. He put food on the table, sell some drugs. You know what's happening right now somewhere. Someone has gotten to the point where they've had to do something illegal to put food on the table. No one is really prospering anymore. Some of the people who are even remotely rich around here have been having problems.
Well, and you think though, when you lay people off, you see these businesses lay people off.
Yeah.
Well, that's say you lay off 100 people. That's another 100 people that are no longer consumers because they do not have an income to consume.
Right.
So it's
yeah, and that's just
dominoes.
And these other contractors are firing normal Americans and hiring people of Latin descent because they'll do the job for twice as cheap. Like, you may have a guy on a construction job, he's paying his foreman, $30 an hour or so to do this job, but he can hire 10 Hispanic people to do the same job for $5 each. I mean, some of them are trying to find the cheaper out to keep more money in their pockets, and it's killing us.
But at some point that's going to end. Because then there's going to be who's left to purchase.
Yeah.
Purchase things.
When everyone's broke now.
Yeah. When everybody's broke, how as a contractor, I'm not able to build a patio. You want to build a patio for me? I can't afford it. So you're losing money.
Yeah.
Long term.
A lot of people say, "Oh, well, let's deport them all back to Mexico, whatever." Well, we've tried that apparently. We've closed the borders. We've got people at we got border patrol with guns, and we still get illegal immigrants.
But the borders ain't closed. They closed off usually in cities.
Yeah. It's not doing any good.
People. But the desert between Texas and
it's wide open.
Arizona, it's nothing.
Well, they've proven, that there's tunnels leading, like 10 miles out of the border into Mexico, leading underneath 10 to 20 miles out into Texas or wherever, and underneath shacks, underneath garages.
But that's all cartel though.
Yeah.
Cartels have put them in to smuggle drugs in.
Yeah, that's what people from Mexico paying what little bit of money they've got to come through there to get here. They said they found a lot of pregnant women in the desert who didn't even make it.
Oh, no doubt, yeah.
Trying to have their children here in America to be Americans.
There's people dying of heat exhaustion,
dehydration,
coyotes, guerrilla people out there, drug cartels.
You got to fight the environment, and you also got to fight the cartels, because if you didn't go through them to get to America, they want their piece of the pie either way.
Exactly.
And so they're going to try to get it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Either way, it's just like every single way we look, our economy here is just being stripped. We've got people here illegally taking what few jobs there are. We've got everything being exported out. We're importing stuff from China. We're just strained every which way. What are we gonna do if we supposed to China with the most money? What happens if they call that dead end? We are seriously in trouble. They will practically own us. Not only do they have more people than we do, we are financially completely in debt to them. We have no financial stability whatsoever.
Oh, no. Everything is not sustainable. The welfare systems, these bureaucratic. What do they have? How many departments does the United States have? You got the Department of Defense, the Department of Homeland Security. I thought that was the same thing. You know, I mean,
I thought it was.
They got the FBI, the CIA, the DEA. How many police?
All these acronyms.
I mean, if we're that bad of a country, just just
have one Department of Defense for the United States of America.
And then it trickles down because there's state agencies and there's local agencies.
You got the state police, your local police.
You got your city police, your county police. We're all paying these people with our tax dollars.
School systems, everything's getting paid.
And that's, I understand.
Money to everything.
We need cops, we need firefighters, we need teachers.
Yes. Which is sad because think about it, with teachers, they're the most important. I mean, they're teaching our children, they taught us, but yet they're the most poorly paid people. You know, being a teacher back in the day used to be a beautiful thing because, you made your good money, but now the most people only take a teaching job just because they love to be around kids or they love to teach. But it's not for the money.
Because it's not there.
It's not, yeah. People who want the money, they go to be lawyers and doctors and plastic surgeons. And, not everybody can go to school for that.
And rappers.
Right, yeah. The black community, is got this whole facade thrown over them that, they can all be rappers. They got kids dropping out of school, kids joining gangs, shooting up people because they think they can be a rapper. You got, other kids think they're going to be the next Eminem, the next Nicki Minaj, the next Katy Perry. Those are people who have hit that once in a million shot. American Idol is good and all, the X Factor, but that kind of puts a false hope because, they're going to trickle out all that to just a very few people. And all the ones that have made it, you don't hear much of them anymore, hardly.
Yeah.
There's the very few that that they get the most.
What, Kelly Clarkson?
Yeah,
that's the one I hear most.
Yeah, you got Kelly.
Well, you hear a lot of rappers actually say it. I had 3 options: sell drugs, or rap, or sing, or dance,
play basketball,
or play basketball. Be an athlete. I mean,
yeah, you either want to be a basketball
player. It's like, look, man, that's not your only
option.
options in the world, man.
Oh.
There's how many colleges are in the United States? Does anybody have that number? No, we don't have that number, but
there's a lot.
There's a lot. You can educate yourself.
I mean, just here, there's a lot. I mean, we've got Georgetown College here, Lexington. You've got ITT, Spencerian, National College. Sullivan.
Who's the richest man in the United States? What, Warren Buffett, isn't it? Is it Buffett or is it?
I haven't checked. I usually keep a check on it because I like to keep a check on my Forbes people. The last time I looked, it was actually neither one of them. I mean, you want the richest person in the United States or the richest person in the world?
The United States. The richest man in the world is a Mexican.
Yes, and he has a lot of money.
Yes.
I think in the United States.
And then that's not even true because they believe the leader of Syria has $220 billion saved up. But he won't report it because
you don't want those problems.
Let's go back to this Mexican. How is he the richest? What did he do?
Yes, I think he's an oil baron.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
because you got to think in Mexico he's doing the same thing they're doing in Texas except he don't have as much overhead. Mm-hmm. He's making the $385 a gallon we're paying, but he don't have to pay his people whatever. It trickles down.
Yeah.
And there's no overhead.
But I do think the richest person in the United States is Warren Buffett, and I think I think the last time I checked, Bill Gates was actually not the second one under him, but the third one under him.
Either way, if you name the top 5 richest Americans,
it would be Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and a couple other people.
Okay, yeah.
Oprah is one of them, of course.
But not one of them are singers, actors, athletes.
No. Bill Gates. Bill Gates was a computer nerd who got lucky. Oprah started out.
Let's not say he's lucky. He took a chance.
He took a lot of chances.
If you take a risk, you get rewarded if it works, right?
Well,
bigger risk, bigger reward.
Well, the way his life has turned out, he's taking all the right risks. He's worth like $70 million or whatever. That's a lot of money.
Well, once you got that kind of capital, it's hard to. It's easy to weigh your risk. Yeah. When you're worth $50 billion, if you lose $3 billion, it's not really a big deal. You haven't changed your lifestyle
Right.
by losing $3 billion.
Yeah. Well,
Now I lose $10.
we're trouble.
You gotta
I got to walk to work
step.
Friday.
If I lose $10, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna lay down and cry because we won't be able to get to work. And that would suck.
But that's the point. Once you get that kind of wealth, I mean, you can take bigger risks
Yeah,
because
it means everything does.
it's not as risky.
Yeah,
Regardless of if the risk is $3 billion, if you're worth $50 billion, that's not a big risk.
I'm pretty sure.
In reality,
Bill Gates could dig $10 worth of change probably out of his ashtray or something. I don't know.
Sure. That's what I'm saying. Like if you spend $3 billion and the risk is you lose $3 billion, but the reward is $30 billion.
You're gonna take that risk.
You're gonna take it because you don't have the opportunity. I mean, you're not gonna lose. You're not losing that much.
Yeah, we don't have that kind of option. We're really in trouble. I wish I had $100 right now. That would be nice. You know, our environment is crazy. I mean, with that even being said, I mean, we got all the gold prices, people clamoring buying gold, because apparently we are not on the U.S. gold standard anymore. Our money don't really mean a whole heck of a lot. It's just worth the paper it's printed on.
Well, see, the American dollar is the reserve currency for the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we're not on the gold standard anymore. Haven't been on the gold standard since 1971.
Yes, 1971.
And I mean, I've known this for a while, but apparently it's not a common knowledge thing.
Yes. And for those who like a little piece of background information on our lovely gold standard, because I'm pretty sure some of you have done the cash for gold at some point. So let's see what we got here. Yes, the gold standard has not been in effect since 1971. And between 1932.
So thank you, Dick Nixon, on that one. Right?
Yes, Nixon is our father of that one.
He's known for Watergate, but he should be known for taking over.
Yeah, he should be taking that. Between 1932 and 33, gold was actually $20 an ounce. Yes, people $20 an ounce in 1933. Then gold went to $35 an ounce until 1971. In Europe, gold went to $38 an ounce because gold supply and demand factor came in. It was really bad.
We're going to show you how bad American politics have been for the last 100 years.
Yeah.
Because who is the one that banned individual ownership of gold? What's his name?
Nixon.
No. He's the one that stopped the gold standard. Who took us off? Who said we weren't allowed to have individual ownership?
Oh, Roosevelt.
It was Roosevelt.
Yeah, Roosevelt. So
as in FDR.
yeah, they called it
as the
guy
that was elected 4 times.
Yeah, he called in all reserve notes, all gold coins,
Yeah.
any personal gold you own. You have to cough it up.
So the guy that is taking away all our freedom, who I mean, FDR was taking away our freedom to have gold,
Yeah.
and we still voted for him. That's the problem. We need to inform ourselves. We need to educate ourselves so we know what's going on, because we don't know. We just see the guy there sitting there smiling. I'm having a good life. I'm worth money. My business is being successful. But every action that is taken, I mean, eventually something negative is going to come from it, right?
Well, see, that's what happened was it was World War I, and we had to go to back the money, and then they started making more bills than what gold we had. That caused the crash, and then that was the Roaring '20s. Stock people, they were taking all that extra money they had, investing in more stocks.
It's exactly the same thing we're doing now.
Yeah, they realized it didn't mean anything, and then the stock market crashed.
But it does mean something because it is the reserve currency of the world.
Well, see, that's why they raised the price of gold per ounce, was to make up for the overprinted money.
Yeah, so what I'm telling you is now it is the reserve currency of the world. So our paper, American paper that's printed in America, it's nothing but paper.
It's just paper.
And it's worth more than gold.
Yeah. Because as of right now, gold is $1,618.82 as of June the 17th of this year. There is currently 238.290 billion worth of gold in Fort Knox, Kentucky.
And we're 15 trillion in debt.
And we're 15 trillion 900 some million in debt.
And counting.
Billion. Yeah, and counting.
And counting. Still going up.
So that's pretty bad.
By second, not
by second.
By second. Yeah. I mean, in 1949, there was 701 million ounces of gold in Fort Knox. That's in 49. Now there's only 147.3 ounces. So yeah, that's the lovely thing about our society. We're kind of
so we've put out some information today. We will continue to do this. We'll be doing the footwork, so to speak.
Yeah.
And we'll continue to do this. We want to change our society. We want to inform our people. We're all Americans, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. If you're American, you're American. I don't look at race. So we need to correct this. The debt is, I mean, because regardless of what else happens in the world, if we don't fix this debt, what good is anything else if we have a bankrupt country?
Yep.
Because then we're just a third world country. So you might want to think about that. You might want to, I mean, you're talking about being Kenya instead of the United States of America. I mean, that's real.
It's a dead serious thing.
I mean, or be Chinese. When China comes and says, you know,
hey, pay up.
I want that $3 trillion you owe us.
And don't forget, people, the Chinese food you go up to the Royal Asian Buffet and get is not the same thing. All right, y'all. If y'all want to know any more information that we talked about tonight, you can Google it, do your own research, check it out for yourself, see it with your own two eyes. It's right there. That's what the free web is for. If you have any questions or comments about tonight's show, please hit us up on our Facebook page, Political Oreo. Send your questions or comments to our email, politicaloreo@yahoo.
Can't forget the underscore.
You love our underscore.
We're not underscore.
That's all lowercase, actually. Political underscore.
Oh no, that's right. It's
Oreo.
lowercase.
Yeah.
We can't get a capital letter.
Yeah, we can't afford a capital letters because we're poor.
Yeah, that's right.
Both of them.
Political_Oreo@yahoo.com. Send us your questions, your comments. We'll talk about it next episode. Please don't forget to go to our Facebook page, like us, share us, and we'll see you all next episode.
Peace and Louise.
Peace out with Sensuous Caramel.
Tina and Tony.